Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Welcome to the Breaking Bread podcast, featuring Aya, Myron, and then myself, Emma. How's everybody doing today?
I'm good. How are you today, Emma?
Um,
Great.
I could have slept better last night. I could have slept better.
How come?
Oh, because of obviously what's going on in Rafah, um, or just in Gaza in general. What happened to um Nusira? Am I saying that right?
I think it's Lucira, but
Thing.
I think we're saying it very English.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just being so helpless is keeping me up at night for sure. I wish I could do more. A lot of my Palestinian friends say that just talking about it is a big help, but you want to do more, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's really understandable. What about you, Myron? How are you?
Pretty worried because I've been advocating for one of the families, Monmon's family, and they were so near the the bombing, and it really like frightened me that we've worked all this hard for campaign, and they might just be gone just like that. It's just that was really hard,
How are you
but
doing, Aya?
Well, I was gonna say I'm good, but now that you guys shared those stories, I'm realizing that no, I'm not good.
Sorry. Sorry, me and Myron took a big piss all over your bonfire. We're very
No,
sorry.
no, it's okay. Because in that sense, then no, I'm not fine as well. Because Ibrahim, one of my families, he's near Al Aqsa Hospital in the Al Balah. Yeah, they're threatening to bomb Al Aqsa Mosque Hospital right now, and they've already set a tent on fire. And he messaged me and told me that he's really scared, and it's very worrying how even in the news the Rafah crossing being closed isn't being covered at all right now. It's almost as if everyone's forgotten about it, especially because I've picked up the aggression lately. So yeah.
Yeah, and what has
it's
obviously
just a way.
recently come to
Oh,
light is the fact that um this strike on the refugee camp was to rescue like four hostages, but like over 200 people have died and over 400 more are now like gravely injured. How is that worth it? I don't understand.
especially because the news is also coming out that they killed hostages alongside the hostages that they're trying to save or have saved.
Yeah, no, I heard about that as
Yeah,
well. Yeah, I read something about that. Hamas said that apparently that some hostages had also died um whilst they were obviously trying to rescue these four hostages. And also, like, did you see like the condition that these hostages came out in? Like, they looked so healthy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in the article it said that they were in good health condition. I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure a doctor would have had to check that for that statement to come out in the first place. Myron, I think you read some articles on how the media is portraying it from Israel's side.
yeah. It's always like the Western media is. Oh, they had a rescue plan for these four Israeli hostages. And oh, by the way, some Palestinians were bombed. And it's like when you go to Al Jazeera or you go to the Middle East Eye, they they say what actually happened, and you know, just the way that it's covered in the media is really disgusting. So
Yeah, it was pretty gross. It's been like the BBC are just like, oh yeah, like four hostages have been released. Oh yes, it's so great. Oh, by the way, over 200 Palestinians are dead. You're like, what? What did you say? What was that at the end there? Oh, nothing. Like the four hostages were released. It's fine. Woo! And it's like, but like you did not. They did not need to bomb the shit out of a refugee camp in order to do that. Like they have advanced military tactical stuff. My mind went blank.
But one of the newspapers, they said, "Oh, the game plan of Israel rescuing the hostages," like it was like they were breaking down some like a basketball game or something. It's like this is the game plan, and it's like did the game plan include like killing their own hostages? It's insane. It's insane
Yeah,
how they
like
cover it.
they do. They have advanced military tactics in order to go and get those four hostages without having to do all of that. But instead they chose to do that. And as well, it's also come to light that the pier was involved in it, like the US built pier that was meant for humanitarian aid, that was involved. The Israelis used that to basically Trojan horse themselves, or Trojan horse their way into the camp, disguised as aid workers in order to carry out this massacre. It is absolutely outrageous, and in fact, it was like them disguising themselves not only as an aid truck, but also as like Palestinians themselves who looked like they were apparently moving furniture.
I heard they were disguised as humanitarian aid workers.
I've heard it's
Yeah,
Actually,
both.
mm,
So
that's even worse.
if you look on Al Jazeera, if you look on the Al Jazeera live feed today, um, it says that they were disguised as furniture dudes, and in fact, somebody sent on the in the group chat on the news channel, I think it was, um, like somebody had, I think it was Al Jazeera had obtained like footage of both of these vehicles. So it was literally, it was two. It was both. It was both them disguising themselves as Palestinians, um, like moving furniture, um, and also aid workers. Like really gross, really sinister.
Yeah,
I've been saying it since like the beginning of all this. They have the capability to get these hostages without casualty. Like they did with when they were going after Bin Laden. Like they had the ability to just go in there incognito and just do what they got to do, but they don't. They because their violent mentality wants to do harm to the Palestinians.
they just
It's
want to
insane.
kill
Yeah,
all the Palestinians and make sure
it's
there's
blood.
nobody left.
And I don't
Yeah, it's
understand why
bloodlust.
people keep trying to justify it. Like I keep saying to people, if you think about it, if you really think about it, right? If, like, say, like in my town, that some terrorists were on the loose, right? Quote unquote terrorists, and they taken in hostages. Would your government like bomb the absolute shit, like carpet bomb the absolute shit out of your town just to get those hostages and apprehend those terrorists? No, of course they wouldn't. They would use like military tactics, like anti-terrorism tactics, in order to be able to get them. And the town would probably go on lockdown. You'd probably be asked not to come out your house. You probably have people coming and like maybe having a look around in the house, like military officials and shit like that. But they wouldn't be bombing the shit out of everything. That's just so ridiculous. So people trying to justify this makes no sense. Like your logic makes no sense. The only reason that you are trying to justify this is because you are racist.
Yeah, yeah. And the ironic thing, I was going to say funny, but it's not funny. The ironic thing is when they try to target a Hamas leader, I believe in Lebanon, um, they literally just like bombed one apartment complex, like not even the whole building. It was one apartment complex. They bombed it so precisely that the whole apartment was hit and nothing else was damaged. And that in and of itself just showed how accurate they can be and how accurately they're deciding not to be. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was like an apartment building, like where like one floor was like bombed and you could see the floor, and then the floor above and the floor below were perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So they do have these
Yeah.
precision, like not only precision weapons, but precision tactics in order to go in and get these hostages or go and find these terrorists without completely having to level an entire city or an entire place. It's ridiculous. And as well, I don't understand how people who claim to be indigenous to the land want to raise it so much. Like they've raised like a really large percentage of Gazans' Greenland. I can't remember how much it was exactly, but it was quite a lot. There's still some left, but quite a lot is gone. Um, and like basically like farming lands and where they cultivate and grow food like olive trees. We've seen the footages of IDF soldiers setting olive trees on fire. um why would you do that to your own land if you're indigenous? Like it's very confusing.
And it will never make sense to them. Like you can show them all the facts and they'll still try to find an excuse or literally just try to not even understand what you're saying. I mean, the fact that they're rebuilding houses already, selling property already, and not just in Israel, but also in the United States, where they are having sales in synagogues, where they're supposed to be having their meetup for their Jewish, I don't know what it's called, like their Sunday
Oh, is it
sermon,
Shabbat?
I think.
So
I'm not
Shabbat is on
sure.
a Saturday.
Then it's maybe a Saturday. I just know that they come together once a week.
Yeah, the Shabbat.
And yeah, Shabbat then. They were having their Shabbat and there were Jewish people outside protesting because during their Shabbat ceremony, they were selling property in occupied Palestine.
That's naughty. That's against Shabbat, that is.
It's against humanity, let alone Shabbat, let alone, yeah.
They couldn't even wait to like advertise for beachfront property. Like, oh hey, come buy a beach house soon. It's just there's gonna be Palestinians buried all underneath. Like it's crazy.
Yep.
Well, the thing is about that as well, I don't think that these people quite understand like the spiritual implications of what they are doing. So, like if you remember like early on, there were stories of like units who were like fighting like nothing is what they were saying, and they couldn't see what they were fighting, and they were really scared. I don't know if you guys like remember the footage from that. Yeah, like you cannot like after you've like done a genocide, you cannot then go and build a bunch of houses on top of their bodies without having spiritual implications. Like I hope that they haunt the fuck out of those guys, to be honest, and
But
it's
they're
what they
like
deserve.
poltergeist.
For people that are saying that they're doing this for their Jewish community, they truly do not show that they have any connection to a religion, let alone Judaism. Because I don't believe anybody with any faith in anything would be doing these types of things.
No. Your God wouldn't teach you to hate. That's all. That's my philosophy.
No, people are fucking ridiculous. I don't understand how they're just as well. Like I remember like seeing like a comment, like somebody was like, "Oh well, if your brother was murdered, wouldn't you want to like wouldn't you kill a bunch of people just to like avenge him? Or like if your brother was kidnapped, wouldn't you like kill a bunch of people to get him back?" It's like, no, no, I would
No,
not actually. You fucking weirdo.
I remember that I saw a video of an IDF soldier that was retired and he had resorted to alcoholism, to drugs, and he admitted in court that he was abusive to his wife because of all of these like trauma. He was diagnosed with like PTSD and whatever, and he was like blaming the Israeli government. And I don't even know what happened to him, but like he was just openly saying all these things, and it's like all over like the internet, and I'm just so confused because how does that footage get online? How can you just openly admit you have all these issues and your wife is sitting right next to you and you're saying that you're abusive to her, and then you're blaming the Israeli government, which yes, they are to blame, but you went and did all those things that gave you PTSD. So
Yeah. Is the brainwashing that goes on in schools as like very, very young. Like they're taught to hate Palestinians, that they're monsters, that when you grow up, you are going to be defending your country, which is Israel. And, you know, you're going to defend them from the monsters that are the Palestinians. And it's ingrained from a young age. And then you wonder how you see all the hate in their eyes and what they say. And it's insane.
Get deja vu
Like, but
here.
that's,
Get deja vu. I'm pretty sure a similar situation like that happened, but like back in the 1940s in Europe. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I
mhm.
think we all know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I just get a little bit deja vu there. Like that sounds very vaguely familiar.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I wonder why.
That's
Hmm.
familiar. But you know, the IDF treats their soldiers so poorly. Like not only do they not care about their own hostages, but they also do not care about their soldiers. Like they present themselves as the most moral army in the world. They get like young people to sign up. I don't know if you noticed, but the majority of the people that we see in the IDF are all like in their 20s. So mostly early 20s, so they're young. You know, their fucking frontal lobe hasn't properly developed yet, and they're pumped full of all this propaganda, and it's like, yeah, yeah. And then they send them off to go and do all of these terrible things and tell them, oh yeah, no, these terrible things that you're doing, you should do them. You know, you're serving your country. And then some of them, because it's horrible. Like afterwards, they're like they feel like they're a terrible human being because obviously they are. They get horrendous post traumatic stress disorder. Um, and I remember like there's like some remember like have you seen that footage of that IDF soldier in court basically screaming at the judge saying that he pisses the bed because of what he did to Palestinian children, and it's like, well, yeah. But anyway, they make them do all of that and then they don't care about them. Like they don't care about their disability status. So there's been like two instances of self-immolation. So there was one in 2023 where a soldier self-immolated. I think it was in his own home. And then another guy self-immolated in 2021. And I think that was outside of like the defense ministry that looks after all of the IDF soldiers. And they both served in Operation Protective Edge, which was a another Palestinian genocide basically in Gaza. I think it was in Gaza. And yeah, they both were treated so horribly by the IDF post service that they set themselves on fire. Like, you know, they didn't just you know, like off themselves by hanging themselves or like overdosing or something like that, like a conventional way. They set themselves on fire. Like, so I really don't understand why you've got all these Zionists like, oh yeah, best army in the world, oh, blah blah blah. It's like they don't care about their own soldiers, babe. There is literal evidence that they do not care.
I
Wake
mean,
up.
if they're gonna treat people of Palestinians or any other country the way they do, why would they ever think that their government cares about them even the slightest? I mean,
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Have you guys seen imperialism, the or Israelism, that
is that a
documentary?
movie?
That's a documentary. It's going. I think they're going to put it on Amazon Prime this weekend.
Oh, is that the
But it's
new
basically,
one?
yeah, it came out the end of January, the end of 2023.
Oh, I
But
don't
like,
think I'm
it's
not sure if it's out over our way yet. But if it's going on Amazon Prime, then it might be coming out our way then.
Let me look it up.
yeah, it's
Israelism, it's a movie.
Yeah, Israelism. I know
a
exactly what
documentary.
Myron is
Israelism.
talking about.
It's
about
an
like
American documentary from 2023
Yeah.
on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict in a American Jewish setting.
so it's about like birthright trips as
Yeah.
and just stuff like that. But it's
So
meant to be like very good and very like eye opening. I'm pretty sure
Oh,
it's
okay.
made by Jewish
I
people.
thought this was a Zionist movie.
No, 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 no. It's a pro-Palestinian movie.
Oh, okay. Well, then
it's like
my tone
made
was
by
inappropriate.
it's made by former Zionists, because they went on the birthright trip, and it's like they welcome you. They have this big like parade, and like they show you around, and they make you feel like this, like it basically a cult. Basically, Zionism is a cult.
It's very
That's the way
culty.
they present.
What do
Yeah,
they do exactly during a birthright trip? Like, how is it commercialized? How is it put out there that people just go?
I don't know, but it's been instilled
So
in like a lot of like Jewish people.
I have a vague
So
idea, and that is they literally offer, so they offer to pay for you to go, so they'll pay for your ticket and your stay, so
yeah,
you get to go for free. Um, Obviously they show you around everything. They show you around like Tel Aviv. They then will go and show you like the border of Gaza and Israel, and it's like, and like some Israelis, like or like some Jewish people who have gone on that birthright trip. Like there was this one lady, I don't know if she was in Israelism, like I remember seeing like a clip of her in an interview. She might be in it, but she was basically saying how obviously back in America, she worked with like refugees specifically like on the Mexican border, and sort of like understood the concept of borders. And when she questioned um, the tour guide about it, and you know sort of seemed to talk back a bit, I'm pretty sure they like kicked them off. They just like dumped them off, like, and were like, yeah, bye, you're on your own. Um, yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure that's what happened, but yeah, so there are some people that question it, but I don't understand how you as a person can go and like, I don't know if maybe it's just like, oh yeah, no, they're like they'll do to us what the Nazis did to us. They're basically Nazis. So, it's completely fine for us to treat them like that. And it's like, well, they're not. They didn't do that to you, did they, babes? That was the Germans. Well, the Nazis, not the Germans specifically, but the but like a completely different fucking nation. Like Palestine didn't have nothing to do with
And on
it.
top of that, the people that are saying like, "Oh, we were tortured during the Holocaust and we went through such terrible, terrible things." They didn't even live through the Holocaust. There are people of our age that definitely were not even alive during the Holocaust. It's like your grandparents were. Yes, if your grandparents were saying this, then it's a whole different story, but they're not. They they're, even if they are alive, I've seen so many Jewish people say that I've heard from my grandparents the terrors that happened in the Holocaust, and those are the people that are protesting for Palestine and saying that never again means never again. So
yeah.
So the death toll has apparently hit 37,000. I think it was today or yesterday.
are you sure?
That's what Al Jazeera said.
Oh, because the Euromed graphics from last month, so May 13th, showed 34,640. So that means within a month, they killed 30,000 more.
3,000 more.
Oh, I thought you said 37,000.
Yeah, the death toll has hit 37,000.
Yeah, and the death toll last month was 34,000.
34,000.
Yeah. So 3,000.
So
So that
3,000.
means,
So 3,000. 3,000. 3,000 death jump.
am I stupid? 43 33,073, or are you saying 47?
No,
I
37.
thought you said 37. 34 minus 30, or 37 minus 34
3,000.
But
would be
I'm saying
30.
43.
Oh,
43?
for the Euro.
No, darling. Like Gaza's death toll has surpassed 37,000.
What does the Euromed one say?
Euromed one says 43,000.
Oh no,
It's
you know what?
probably a
Yeah,
count.
the
I don't know. Like so, like where are you getting that from? Is that
That's from Euromed from last
because
month.
Euromed,
And
Euromed, they'll count the people under the rubble that have been accounted for. So
yeah?
yeah,
Okay. So
so
then
they'll
what
count
did
them as
Al
like.
Jazeera say now?
Al Jazeera is saying so. Al Jazeera have said that Gaza's death toll has surpassed 37,000. Um,
And that would be,
hmm?
people
Your
that have been
voice cut
counted.
out.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's like confirmed.
Yeah, so those are the confirmed. So that yeah, Gaza's death toll surpasses 37,000 people, but it's likely to be more than that because obviously there's people trapped under the rubble. They've got no equipment or anything like that to go and get them. So, but
And
there'll be
Euromed,
other newspapers that will count like those people in as well. But I think Al Jazeera have just put 37,000.
yeah, it's a big number either way you look at it.
Yeah.
What else did the
You
graphics
okay?
say?
I don't know what to talk about now.
Oh
Although
well,
we're gonna talk about the rest of the graph.
yeah, talk about the rest of the
What?
graphics. What do the rest of the graphics say?
Well, yeah, but if it's not accurate, because
It's accurate. It's like, okay, it's accurate to the sense of the people under the rubble count as deaths.
Let me have a look.
Some people.
yeah, okay, yeah, no, it says the killed number includes those presumed dead under the rubble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the injured from May 13th are 81,560.
Oh,
Ugh.
yeah, so just to note that this graph is from the 7th of October to the 13th of May. It's
Yeah,
now the 9th of June today, so we're probably all of these numbers are going to be higher.
definitely. The journalists killed was 141. The displaced were 2 million. I feel like that's a very exact number. I feel like that's round up.
It's
I think
approximately
it
2
was like
million. So
a number
so
that,
Gaza's population is like 2.2 million. So there are some houses that are obviously still intact and people are staying in them. Obviously, it's not like 100% safe, and then obviously
Yeah.
people will have to do things like evacuate. Um, but other than that, like literally apart from those very few buildings, everybody else is displaced.
Yeah. So 2 million displaced. Then we have 136,700 completely destroyed homes. And then we have a different statistic for partially destroyed homes, which is 200,000. How do you say this number? It's 298,700.
So 298,700.
So 298,700 partially destroyed homes. I wonder how they came to these statistics. Like,
I'm guessing when they say completely destroyed homes, they've been flattened, leveled, gone. When it's partially destroyed, there might be some sort of like structure still remaining, which you can build off, when it comes to rebuilding.
yeah,
Which I hope is soon. I hope is soon. Um, but yeah, when it comes to completely destroyed homes, they'll have been like leveled,
yeah,
totally gone.
they were saying to rebuild Gaza, it's gonna take like decades.
Yeah, it will. It
completely
will
build
take a
it.
long time and it will take a lot of money.
Yeah,
Over
money
200.
that government should pay for.
Yes.
We shouldn't be that shit. Or shoot, sorry. Can I curse?
I don't know. Can
Yeah,
we?
it's YouTube, don't worry. It's going on YouTube. And
We
as
should,
well, we can bleep it out, don't worry. I think it's also should be noted that over 200 heritage sites have been either bombed or destroyed. What this graphic doesn't mention is the amount of grave sites that have been raised and raided. So obviously, not only have they been subject to heavy shelling and bombing, but also the IDF has been stealing bodies. And I know, like, a lot of people have been.
You're
Excuse
gonna
me.
make
A
me
lot of
yawn.
people have been sort of speculating as to exactly what they're doing with these bodies. Because I know that people have been talking about stuff like the skin bank. Um, and stuff like that. When it comes to vital organs need to be um, pretty fresh for them to be able to be used on somebody. So if they're going to be taking anything like vital organs or skin from anybody, it's going to be from the prisoners that they've taken in or that
Yep.
they've kidnapped. Sorry. Um, So the bodies that they are exhuming from these graveyards, they are probably using for ballistics testing, which is fucking gross. So they're basically testing military weapons on it.
Yep.
Hmm.
They have also found bodies with missing organs, so they're doing everything we possibly could think of, probably, and more.
Yeah, there are bodies found with missing organs, and but there as well there are older bodies, so they wouldn't be used in any form of like organ transplanting. I don't think like they're too old, but I'm just like what are you testing on them? You fucking weirdos. Put them back. And the thing is that and then you wonder why these soldiers are like killing themselves. It's like, well, if they're making you do stuff like that. You're probably being haunted by their ghosts.
you know what the other stat I can't find is like the number of sexual assaults that have occurred during all this.
They're not
Oh
going to
yeah.
keep track of that. They're not going
Yeah.
to keep track of that, which is incredibly sad. I don't think it's even possible to put a number on the amount of sexual violence implemented on Palestinian women, children, and I'm not even going to exclude men because I'm sure it happens to men too.
So I don't know if you heard, but recently there was like a leak. Well, this was a footnote at the bottom of a New York Times article on like Palestinians being held in Israeli prisons, and prisoners or like ex prisoners or like Palestinians that have like gotten out have been saying that um from what they're describing, it sounds like they're being sodomized by a cattle prod. Um, so even the men are facing, you know, serious violent sexual assault, like really, really gross.
Just from my understanding, what does sodomize mean?
Oh, so raped anally.
Kind of penetrated. Yeah.
So with a cattle prod, because from what they've described like a metal rod, um, obviously penetrating them, and then this rod like shocking them. So it sounds
Okay,
like,
maybe trigger warning.
oh yeah, big trigger warning, by the way. But yeah, so even the men are facing horrendous violent sexual assault. Like it's like nobody is safe. They're a bunch of creepy weirdos. Ugh. Honestly, it's gross.
It's so disgusting. And then these
The
these men, these oh sorry, Myron, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying there was a story back in December that'll probably haunt me for a long time. Is the story of this girl in the West Bank like all she did was throw rocks at soldiers, and then they took her prisoner. And trigger warning, they starved her and gang raped her, and then they dropped her at the edge of the West Bank. And her father had to find her and take her to the hospital,
Most Maori
which
armor
is
in the world.
it's very sad. Like I think about that story a lot.
So
But
moral. Most moralist army in the world. Like, oh my god, it just so moral. Oh my
yeah,
god. Bastards.
And then these Israeli soldiers that do this don't even come from the region. And they could just go back to their original country and just move through
I'll
society as if they're not criminals. Sorry,
like they
Myron?
get go back home and then just play with their kids and everything's all hunky dory,
Yeah.
which really pisses me off.
There was that. Did you hear there was a story of like a high-ranking Israeli soldier who returned home. I don't know where the fuck he was from. He was from some white country. Um, and he ended up killing himself. But trigger warning, sorry. Um, but
Wait.
but
Before you
he
continue.
he was he posted like videos of himself like committing like some of the most disgusting war crimes in Gaza, um, but then ended up offing himself because of his PTSD. And it's like, well,
He posted the videos himself.
yeah, like not of himself, committing suicide, but no, of videos of himself committing war crimes in Gaza. Like, so he was one of the soldiers that has been basically uploading all of this evidence online. But yeah, he's
I
ended
don't
up
get it.
offing himself.
I don't get how everything is being recorded. Like you see so much footage of Israeli soldiers just doing the most horrendous thing, and it's all on camera. And I'm just, do they have their phone in their pocket? Like,
Yeah,
do they have a GoPro strapped to their chest? Like,
it's both. It's a lot. It's a few things. So, they'll have phones. There'll be cameras in like the military vehicles, and then they'll have like cams on their vests sometimes. But for the most part, I think some of the most incriminating footage has been the ones that they've recorded themselves on their phones, like the IDF soldiers going in and putting on like ladies like lingerie and stuff like that. Like that's like so creepy and weird. Think about how
Yes,
creepy that is. Think about how creepy that is. Like there are fucking cartoons that make fun of people that are like that. Do you remember? I don't remember if you remember that. They were like when I was younger watching just like just stuff about like panty sniffers and how everybody would make fun of them and them being really creepy. That's them. They're panty sniffers and it's weird. Absolutely weird.
they're just
yeah,
doing it in public.
it's they film all their crimes, and it's like people still like, oh well, they have the right to defend. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Israel has the
They're
right to
actually
defend itself by wearing
yeah,
lingerie, by wearing women's lingerie. All right.
yeah.
They're bulletproof.
Yeah, they're defending themselves, guys. All right. Don't say that are you guys being anti-Semitic? No, you should let them wear strange women's underwear, otherwise you're anti-Semitic. But yeah,
Oh,
anyway, we've got
the
like
story,
10 minutes left.
the story of this couple, like this Palestinian couple that were, they were murdered, unalived, martyred, but like some idea fucking soldier just took their jewelry, took like a ring from one of the couples and just like, I'm gonna give it to my wife.
I saw
Like,
that. I saw
how
that.
disgusting.
I saw that. You know, I would
Surely
never
breaks
accept.
that breaks one of the rules of Judaism. Like I can't like the rules of Judaism have a specific name. I can't remember what they're called. but like surely that breaks it. Then like that act itself is anti-Semitic. I'm sorry, but it is.
Even religion aside, if I were to receive a ring from somebody's ex-wife, I would say no, go buy me a new ring. I'm not going to wear something someone else wore. And you go and you grab it off someone's dead body,
Go and
literally.
buy me one.
I
Sprinkle,
just
sprinkle.
go.
Go and buy me one.
It,
Like what?
it's
What?
taking blood.
Like what is this? Not only is this some other woman's ring, but like you murdered her, so like a ghost is probably attached to it. Like no, like no.
it's
Honestly,
it's
It's
wrong on
taking
literally
blood.
every level. Religiously, non-religiously, morally.
spiritually, morally, like every kind of level.
It's taking blood diamonds to a whole new like meaning.
It
No,
You
is
know,
no.
like crazy.
Oh.
ridiculous. But yeah, should we end on a lighter note? So I've been telling you guys, oh, I've been wanting to introduce you guys to a certain somebody. Um, so she is a good friend of mine. Um, you'll have to excuse her because she's a little bit sour. She is a Gen Xer. She's 44, 45 years old, right? And her name is Bertha.
See, I thought we was gonna see Miss Gomez. You you were building up. I thought I was gonna see a chicken right now.
No, I don't know, but I might introduce Miss Gomez in the future because she's not quite used to me yet. She's settling in nicely. Like her and Morticia have been like chickening around together, which has been nice. It's been nice to see. Like if anybody's thinking about like I think one thing about like that I'm really into, which is obviously why I've got like Bertha here and chickens, is like self-sustainability. So if you can do anything you can to sort of be less reliant on like supermarkets, um, that will help um, massively because a lot of these supermarkets will have ties to Zionism, even if it's just like a little bit, and it's really hard to escape from. Like I know people try to shop consciously, but sometimes, if you're living like a rural area and the only thing near you is either like, for example, here, if there's like a Tesco or in America, if it's a Walmart, then you've got no choice. But if you're growing your own food and stuff, you can sort of like, obviously you're spending less. So that's what I'm really into. So if you're thinking about getting chickens and if you can look after them, do it because you get fresh eggs. You're not contributing to the the shitty egg system thing that they've got going on with chickens right now. And it's good for your mental health to watch them. But yeah, this is Bertha. Bertha is my sourdough culture. She's a little bit frothy right now because she needs
I
feeding.
was gonna say you should you be smelling that?
Oh, yes, you meant you need to smell. You need to smell your sourdough culture to know what it's doing. So at the moment, she's smelling very vinegary, and that's all right. That just means that she's hungry. So I need to feed her. When we finish the stream, I'm going to feed her. And I feed her with organic bread flour because she is very fancy, and like bottled water because again, she's fancy. I need to like take her out of here and maybe give her a little jar a wee clean, like it's like overdue. But no, she's good. I think when your sourdough goes like a pink color, which she's not, she's like a normal color. She's a normal bread color. That's mold throwaway. Or if it starts to like smell of farts, that's it's dead throwaway. Don't make bread out of that. All right?
Oh, so
Don't make farty
you've
bread.
had it smell like farts before?
I'll throw it away.
You've had it smell like farts before?
Oh no, have I had it smell like? No, I haven't. I've had sourdough batch go pink on me, but I just threw that out. But if it smelt of like farts, no, nothing like that. But no, I was like reading up on like sourdough care. Myron finds this hilarious.
This,
But no, if you open
this
it
is
up
definitely lighter tone.
and it's like a jar of farts, then it's dead. Throw away. Throw away, she's dead. But no, she's very much alive and she's letting off her vinegary stink to let me know that she is hungry. So I must feed her with her fancy items. And yeah, what will happen is I'll feed her and then she'll like rise. And when she rises, that's when you bake bread or whatever with it. You can make so many things with sourdough. You can make like pretzels, you can make cookies. Um, yeah, there's like so much as well. Like I saw somebody, right? So you can make, the way you brew alcohol is with like yeast. I
Yeah.
saw somebody making their wine with fucking sourdough cultures. I was like, okay. And apparently it was really nice.
I would
So
like some of
I'm
that Emma wine.
what?
I would like some of that Emma wine made of sourdough.
See, so I don't know if I really wonder how that tastes, although I'm not gonna drink it because I don't drink alcohol anymore. But I'll have you guys taste it and then be like, describe the taste for me, please.
I don't really drink much alcohol anymore. I have like a tipple every now and again, but like I think it tends to make my chronic illness worse. But I totally brew a little bit of wine with you, Bertha. Bertha. But she is telling me that she is hungry. She's a stink. She's given a vinegary stink, and that is how you know. Um, And yeah, there are some people that use like they bake with their sourdough like every day and they feed it every day. I think I can get away with feeding it like approximately once a week. Um, but yeah, I'm probably gonna make some bread with it this evening because I love bread. Bread
I'd
is
love to
good.
see some pictures of that.
I'll
Yeah.
send some pictures. I'll send some
I
pictures
will
You
of
love to
definitely be
break.
talking. Oh, sorry.
You love to break bread.
Love to
Yeah,
break bread.
we love to break bread here.
We'll definitely talk more in depth on this because we're planning on doing a whole episode on sustainability and the connections between our reliance on supermarkets and products that the government sells, and how, for example, like Emma, you can be more self sustaining and have Miss Gomez and Morticia at your home and a Bertha.
Gardening and owning chickens is so good for your mental health. I absolutely promise you. And plus, you can be less reliant on the government and corporations. Yeah, fuck you, government and corporations. Awesome. But yeah, we're coming up. Well, we're about 57 minutes. Should we round it up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there anything we want to like edit into it that we want to be like, okay, let's talk about
Oh,
that now and edit it in? Did we miss anything?
where can we find you on the social medias?
Oh, did you do that in
Yeah,
the
we
first
did that.
episode?
Yeah.
So did everyone say their socials?
Yeah, you could just say your TikTok or whatever if you're comfortable
Yeah,
with
just say
that.
TikTok. So I am the crafty little witch. Pretty much everywhere. Um, I'm on TikTok, on Instagram. Look me up.
I I feel so embarrassed. My TikTok is pretty princess 14.99 and my Instagram is it's Aya. What's the cat's name?
That was Ember. He wasn't impressed with that, apparently. Did you see that? He was like, ugh. So it's nearly dinner time. So it's like in about 40 minutes it'll be 5 o'clock my time, and that's their dinner time. All right. But they all start queuing for it at about 3:30. So I've got two sat on the windowsill outside, you can't see. But they're queuing. And then he's down here, he's queuing. I don't know where the other one is. She's probably around queuing as well. Because that's just what they do. They'll
How many
they'll.
cats do you have?
I have four.
What are their names?
So there's Ember, Calcifer, and Lemmy, and they are all from the same litter. Sorry, not letter. They are from the same
Let's.
litter.
Oh,
Um, and I've raised them since they were kittens. Well, since they were born, basically. I watched Ember be born. That was weird. That was weird, but it was interesting at the same time. But it was still very, very weird. But and then there's Mr. Sven, who is my ginger boy, who just sort of turned up a couple of years ago and like never left. Like to be fair, I found his previous owner, and she was basically saying that he's like an ex-barn cat, and that he wasn't getting on with her cats. So would he want to come live here? And he doesn't necessarily like get on with my cats, like they tolerate each other, but you know, I love him. He's my little ginger man. He's my little orangey boy.
Orange cats are a whole different breed.
Oh yeah, he's a very funny boy. To be fair, he's a bit old. I think he's maybe about 10, according to his teeth. That's what the vet said. Um, but and he seems like a bit old and a bit slow, but he's a bit of an old man now. But he does do orange
That's
boy
your dad.
stuff. He does do orange boy stuff. But Calcifer and Lemmy are both tortoiseshells, or naughty torties, as they're called. Um, so yeah, and they were worse when they were kittens. They were a pair of knobs.
Your cat's name is Kelso.
Yes,
Oh wow.
yeah, from Howl's Moving Castle. Yeah, one of my cat's names is Calcifer. She's
I
got
love
like
that.
she's got like she's the tortie as well, but she's got like half an orange and black face. So that's why I called her Calcifer.
It's cute. It's a lovely name.
Right, well, should we wrap this up? Thank
Yeah.
you, everybody, if you joined us at the Breaking Bread podcast. This has been Aya, Myron, and Emma. Thank you for joining us. Be excellent to each other, and free Palestine, and Congo, and Sudan, and anywhere else that is undergoing a genocide.
Hey, Edie.
Oh, sorry, I got it. Eyelash.
No.
Make a wish. I wish for a ceasefire.